You're tuning into Black and White Sports on YouTube. The no-holds-barred truth on sports. The main event starts now.
I am back. Rudrance for Black and White Sports. If you're new to the channel, pop the subscribe, like, comment, share. When it comes to Bubba Wallace, I know you guys will certainly not hold back in the comment section, and you shouldn't. You shouldn't. We've chronicled Bubba Wallace's hot garbage mess of a NASCAR career. Well, it was the very first real topic that launched this channel was, of course, Bubba Wallace and his fake garage noose hoax that led him into building his social justice brand around the mainstream media sphere. And, of course, one of his sponsors is McDonald's. Now, he's had a lot of issues since the garage pull rope, of course, most notably him being the bully on Kyle Larson last year during that Las Vegas Speedway race. We all saw that video, and there was massive fallout around that. There's been a lot of other things with Bubba, like his nonstop middle finger barrage towards everybody, and the fact that he hit Eric Almirola a while back, a couple of weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, with a barrage of it, almost ended in Bubba getting his ass handed to him because Eric Almirola went after Bubba. It seems that NASCAR drivers are starting to have enough of Bubba Wallace. NASCAR fans have had enough of him for a very long time. After the Kyle Larson incident, there were massive calls for Bubba Wallace to lose one of his biggest sponsors because of what he did involving Kyle Larson. Now, in case you forget the massive backlash towards McDonald's, this is bounding into sports from October 17th last year. NASCAR fans call on McDonald's to drop Bubba Wallace's sponsorship after he attacked Kyle Larson at Las Vegas Motor Speedway. Of course, that got very public. Very public. Kyle Petty weighed in, became a massive story, and Bubba got suspended for that. We've all seen that video at this point of him going after Kyle Larson. Let's see if the guys put that in this. Yes, they did. Right here. There it is. There he is, pushing on a much smaller Kyle Larson. In fact, Kyle Larson, by the way, is one of NASCAR, and it says right here, one of his only Asian drivers. So, and we'll get to the sort of the calls for him to be dropped after we look at this story, because McDonald's not only did not drop Bubba, but now McDonald's is going to dedicate a meal in the name of Bubba Wallace ahead of a NASCAR race. That's right. Ronald McDonald has given you the double middle finger Stone Cold Stunner involving McDonald's sponsoring Bubba Wallace by giving this turd in a punch bowl his very own meal. I mean, crying out loud. Let's dedicate a meal to Bubba Wallace. Look, McDonald's. Have you ever heard of a brand called Bud Light? Have you ever heard of a brand called Cracker Barrel? Have you ever heard of a brand called Target, a.k.a. Target? I don't know if you've seen fallout around boycotts of those brands, because people have gotten fed up. My goodness, you might want to watch what you're doing. NASCAR is coming to Chicago this summer, and McDonald's locations in the Chicago area and Northwest Indiana are celebrating with a meal inspired by driver Bubba Wallace. Starting June 25th, fans can enjoy Bubba Wallace's favorite order at area restaurants. It includes a 10-piece order of chicken McNuggets, a medium fry, and a medium Dr. Pepper for just $8. My God. That's like the plainest meal in the history of the planet. The Bubba Wallace meal is available exclusively through McDonald's mobile app through July 2nd's race. The two NASCAR races, the Loop 121 and Grant Park 220, will take over downtown Chicago July 1 and 2 with a 2.2-mile circuit. The Xfinity Series race will consist of 55 laps, while the Cup Series race will be 100 laps in length. Holy mackerel. Talk about not having a grasp on your fan base and how they feel about somebody. Well, last year there were massive calls to get rid of Bubba Wallace as the driver for McDonald's. This is some of that backlash. Bubba Wallace not only wrecked Larson at we haven't even talked about the fact that he wrecked into Larson at high speed in a car with a questionable safety record, but then he proceeded to try to fight him. Wonder how McDonald's and his other sponsors feel right now. It didn't stop there. I do not see how anyone could justify Bubba Wallace's actions. Just purely unacceptable. He needs to be suspended. McDonald's needs to assess whether or not he is the right person to represent their brand in NASCAR. I used to fully support Bubba. I cannot after witnessing that. That's somebody that actually had his back at one point. This person said, wow, at McDonald's you must be proud. Boycott McDonald's until Wallace is terminated. Now, I did a video on McDonald's back in the day in this. It got a hell of a lot of views. Maybe it needs more attention. To be honest, at McDonald's needs to choose another representative to carry the brand. Attacking one of the only Asian drivers in NASCAR is not a good look. Neither is putting your hand on an official. NASCAR needs to give Bubba Wallace a significant suspension on his actions. McDonald's needs to drop Bubba Wallace immediately, boycott McDonald's. Sponsor money from McDonald's helps Bubba Wallace be able to race. Stop eating at McDonald's. This way, a protest the abhorrent behavior by Bubba Wallace yesterday. Sponsor money from McDonald's helps Bubba Wallace be able to race. That's the one I just read. They just blew it up. McDonald's should drop Wallace over this unsportsmanlike conduct. After a crash, you go make sure the other driver is okay. You don't assault him. And there was a lot of backlash after the Kyle Larson incident. It's pretty clear the clowns at McDonald's looking at you, Ronald. They clearly are not listening to NASCAR fans because they've wrapped their loving arms around Bubba Wallace and are now dedicating a meal to a guy that, let's just be real, he's had the most repugnant behavior in NASCAR. You know what? We're coming up on the 3rd anniversary of this channel blowing up, and it was Bubba Wallace and his news hoax that did it. So in the last 3 years, pretty clear, Bubba Wallace has been the worst behaved driver in all of NASCAR. Unbelievable. And this was the guy that NASCAR decided to wrap their arms around right after that. Brave, stunning, and courageously in his Marxist car. Wow. Go bleep yourself, Ronald. Yeah. And Bubba, for that matter. Tell me what you think in the comments section below. Peace. I'm out.
Thanks for watching the show. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Be sure to tune in next time on Black and White Sports.